Hi everyone, welcome to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us for this final Friday noontime show as we get your long weekend started early here in studio. And as we do most Fridays, welcome in former state representative, former Deputy Secretary of State, now heads up Stages of Freedom, Ray Rickman, to give us Big View.
As always, Kate, thank you. Can you believe it's almost September? It is. Friday, 5:30, I'm standing in front of Stages of Freedom, beginning to bring the books in from the big tables, the cheap books. And I look over and I hear a crash. And as I turn to look, I see a woman going up in the air. Car has hit her. And I'm not surprised. This is Memorial Boulevard. When you come down from College Hill, you come across onto Westminster. And people on College Street, as they cross the river, they want to turn south to Crawford Street, most of them going to the expressway. They turn before the middle of the street. There are 3 lanes going north towards the mall and 2 lanes going south, and a huge yellow marking in the middle, meaning go beyond the yellow marking and turn south. Well, about 10% of people cheat because there are 3 lanes going north. They can get in one of them and save 5 seconds. That's our theory. If they went all the way around the yellow line, it'd be an extra 5 or 6 seconds. So they don't go in lane 1. There are almost always cars there. And one of the traffic people for the city told me why yesterday. Everybody's in lane 1 because they're worried that the other people might be turning onto Westminster. So they all pile up in lane 1 so they can go straight and rush through the next 2 lights and get on the expressway. So it's fascinating. Things you don't know why everybody's on one side. And then the middle lane is free. So the people from College, instead of going around the yellow, which is in the middle of the street, they go on a lane that's supposed to be going north, which cars are supposed to set, to save 4 seconds. And they do it all the time. And regularly they almost hit people because people not in the know are crossing the street and they're not planning to do any looking till they get to the middle of the street to see if a car wants to turn, because that would be the rational thing to do. You listening? You staying with me on this? I hope it's graphic enough. So she is on the correct side of the street, and young man, probably her age, she's 25, he probably is too. He comes speeding off of College, turns inappropriately, I believe illegally, driving to endanger, I believe. And she, being just about to enter the second lane, he hits her. And up into the sky she goes, and down she comes and hits the ground. And the blood runs every place. 6 of us run out, 5 at the bus stop, and me a little further. They get there first. And I take out my hanky to see if that'll stop the blood, but it does nothing. The hanky's filled up with blood in 20 seconds. And then surprisingly, someone has basically a towel in their purse. Now, women are fabulous. They have everything in their purse. And she applies the pressure, and the blood stops running. And takes the police the fire folks come first, and then finally the police. And and I love the Providence Fire Department, but they take about 3.5, 4 minutes. I don't know whose fault that is. My guess is we're so in shock that no one called. I didn't have my cell phone. And then the Providence police come 3 or 4 minutes later, and off they take her. And my heart goes out to her. She's laying there, maybe in a state of shock. They ask her the appropriate questions, what day it is, what time it is, who are you? And she's able to answer slowly but surely. And I'm pretty sure she's going to make it, and there may be a full recovery. There may be. So, at that intersection, people do this every day of my life. They run the red light going south. They come up from college from the east side onto that street and turn into a north-going lane, and young people in particular, RISD students, aren't paying full attention, and they come within inches of hitting them daily. I had a long conversation with the city. I asked them to repaint the lines. I asked them if they can put up a sign saying dangerous intersection. And I'm going to talk to the police department this afternoon about putting a police officer out there to give people tickets, because 3/4 of the people who run that light are regulars. They're regulars. 4 or 5 women from Massachusetts, I see them all the time. They run the red light in order to get to Crawford Street and sit at a red light. Did you hear the absurdity of what I just told you? They hit a bicyclist 2 weeks ago. They hit another bicyclist last year. They're going to kill somebody. They're driving to endanger. They're not abnormal Rhode Islanders and Massachusetts people. Increasingly, it's normal. This is an end of the summer plea to you. Drive a little better. When you're in a car with someone driving like a fool and running a red light, say something. Can you imagine killing a young woman, 25 years old, wiping out 60 years of life? Oh, let me conclude by telling you, he was telling the 6, 7 of us in the middle of the street. His excuse was he was going to his mother's 55th birthday party. That gives him the right to speed and to hit a 25-year-old woman. God bless her, and would you please think about what I've just said. Driving to endanger to get to a birthday party. What? 5 seconds early?